Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. As you'll notice, today it's just me. The purpose of today's vlog, the reason of today's vlog is those of you who follow me on Instagram, Twitter will know that I've been doing a lot of work, just trying to live a healthier lifestyle, get into shape, whether that be through eating clean, doing a bit more exercise. And lots of people have messaged me saying that they're really inspired, really encouraged, motivated to get going. And lots of people asking me questions about, you know, what made me start and what got me into it, and like how do I motivate myself to keep going. And to be honest, my weight is one of those things that it's been one of those topics that for me it's like it's almost like a taboo. One of those things I don't really like talking about. I know it's a problem, but it's one of those problems that I can kind of keep aside and manage, and you know, just go along with day-to-day life, and it not affect me too much. And you know, it didn't really affect me. Like, I didn't have any medical health conditions or diabetes or blood pressure or anything like that, so I was still able to continue as normal. In my younger years, like through college and stuff, I was big, but I also went through a period where I went through like intense eating clean, gym, and was able to get my physique pretty clean, probably the cleanest it's been. And that was probably when I was about 16, 17, 18. And I think that was probably, as much as it showed me how much like willpower, determination I had and how much drive I had, I think what it also did is through my years of like 18 onwards, it put this small thing in my mind that, oh yeah, it's fine if I put on weight, because I know that if I need to lose it, I can, and I know how to lose it. Which was one of those, I was almost like putting myself in a false sense of hope, or tricking myself to thinking, oh yeah, I can indulge, or I can put on the pounds because to it I can lose it, which in hindsight was a bad mindset to be in. And you know, it's one of, my weight is one of those topics that it's really funny, because there's loads of things that go on in my mind about how people might perceive me, or you know, like what I need to do about my weight, what limitations it gives to me. And like from speaking to a selected few people about it, who, you know, like the inner circle, like my ring about it, and you know, just kind of letting them know how I feel, like they were really shocked, because I don't necessarily give off that vibe, or they would never the thought would never cross their mind that those were some of the things, like, you know, deep rooted issues within like how I used to think about myself, or how I used to view myself. And I remember it was like a conversation with Michelle I had once, probably like a year or two ago, which kind of triggered that, like, just thought-provoking, and you know, for me to kind of really open up to her and express to her how I feel about my weight, and some of the things that I feel about my weight when I was bigger. And you know, the biggest I was like 125 kilos, which is massive, which is huge. And that was the highest I'd been was when we came back from America last year. So July 2019 was the biggest I was ever have been in my 27 years. And like, there used to be a whole ton of things, like for example, my weight got to a stage where I couldn't really go into a high street shop and buy clothes because they wouldn't stock my range. So I couldn't go into your Next, your H&M's, all of those shops, because they wouldn't stock my size. That then made it very difficult, because the style that I would have to wear would have to kind of gear or tailor towards what was available to buy. A lot of the time you could buy things online, or they would stock extra size ranges online, but it would be like, oh, you can't try it on, so you don't know what it looks like, and the process of ordering it, not liking it not fitting, sending it back was just long. So that was one of the things. Like, I used to dress a certain way, always play it safe, because I knew at the back of my mind it was like, I know I'm heavy, I know my shape isn't great, and you know, how am I going to be perceived? I might not be pulling it off as intended, etc, etc. Second thing was like social gatherings. Like, it's weird, it's so weird. There would always be this little thing like in the back of my mind that I'd know if anyone spoke about weight, if anyone spoke about like exercise, how healthy they are, I'd always be a bit, not on edge, but I'd just be thinking like, oh yeah, how can I like exit this conversation or take myself out of this conversation, because I know the shape I'm in. I can't be an advocate for whatever's being discussed, so I need to remove myself from the equation. And there were loads of small things like that would just niggle away. Like, one of my fears was like, and it's never happened, but one of my fears was like, oh, what if what if my weight gets to a stage where I could sit on a chair or like a plastic chair and it would break. And it's great. Like, now I'm speaking to you guys about it, and when I spoke to Michelle about it, like, she broke it down and like made me explain how crazy I had ingrained this into my mind, when actually I didn't need to, but I was just beating myself up about it. But as I said, I wasn't like expressing it outwardly, I was just beating myself up about it, like mentally almost. So, cut a long story short, came back from America. The biggest I was, as I said, no health issues, life was going on well, we had 2 kids, you know, full-time job, blah blah blah, everything was fine. There was no reason for change. The conversation I had with Michelle like almost trickled a thought in my mind, and it's like, you know what, like, I can do this. Like, if I really wanted to do this, and deep down I did really want to do it. I wanted to be, you know, I wanted to be much fitter, much cleaner, be able to go to a high street shop and buy clothes quite openly. So then I kind of, you know, said when we came back from America, I was going to start clean slate, eat clean. Exercise was difficult because of the kids routine, work, blah blah blah. Fitting in time was tough. I know all my gym friends, all my gym fanatics, and I have loads of them, will say, you know, there's no such thing as you don't have time, you have to fit into your day. And that is all good, well and true, but sometimes when you have 2 kids and the mum and dad are both working full time, it's a lot to handle. So I thought the first thing I could do was eat better, eat cleaner, portion control, watch what I'm eating, and that's how I started. So you know, I started something called the keto diet, which some of you might be familiar with, but essentially it's a minimize your carb intake, and you can slightly up your fat and protein intake to kind of balance out your macros. And if anyone has like more questions about it, I can go into more detail about it, but I want to try and keep this as kind of high level as possible. So yeah, I just did that, and then what I started to do is I also told myself, look, I need to be realistic, that I can't go so extreme that as soon as I go back to normal life and normal eating and normal consumption, I'm just going to put all the weight back on, because that's just not manageable. I need to find a happy medium. So keto is a very strict diet where you have to like strip out loads of stuff, and essentially it centers around carbs and sugar, so limiting your sugar intake. Those of you who know me know that I love Diet Coke. I love Coke, full stop. So I told myself, look, I can give up everything. I can give up the chips, I can give up the McDonald's, I can give up the burgers, but I can't give up Diet Coke. Like, I'll be fooling myself if I go 3 or 6 months without Diet Coke, because I'm eventually going to drink it because I love it. So I kept on with the Diet Coke, I kept on with the coffee, etc. From July 2019, after I started keto, and props to Michelle, because she supported me along the way. She even did it herself, and it was amazing. To have someone do it with you was like doubly motivating. But yeah, since July, like, it's just been really positive. I went from my highest, which was probably about 125, maybe unofficially like 127 kilos, that is, to now being 107 kilos. So that's 20 kilos that I've lost. And some people might be like, you know, when I started, some people were like, oh, it's a fad diet, you know, you're just going to lose it quick, but you'll put it back on, give it 3 months, you know, you'll get over it. And those were the comments where I was sometimes like, you know what, and those were comments from people like who are deemed as close to me, right? And sometimes they're so discouraging or so disheartening, and I was like, you know what, that just can't run. Like, I need to show these guys and prove these guys, like, look, we can do it, we can, you know, you can change your lifestyle for the better. So yeah, just implemented like a healthier way of living, and and it was all driven by eating cleaner. And you know, I think there's loads of gym fanatics and loads of healthy lifestyle ambassadors will tell you that you know, a healthy life is like 80% diet and 20% exercise. And sometimes you always think like, oh, that's just one of those cliche things that they throw out, but it's actually so true. Like the changes I saw by just changing my diet was incredible, like absolutely incredible. So what I've decided to do is, for the month of June, I want to do a 28-day challenge to take you guys along with me, to show you guys what I eat on a day-to-day basis, like my exercise. Me and Michelle have recently started introducing skipping. We didn't skip. We did zero exercise for the first. We did zero exercise until like 2 weeks ago, basically. Zero. Completely zero. Zilch. And I went from 120, 125 down to about 108.5 with zero exercise. No exaggeration, zero. Not even a run, not even a brisk walk, nothing. Zilch. And I saw that, wow, like, diet is everything. And it just makes you so conscious to now, when I'm eating a meal, I'm looking at, you know, I'm just looking at the composition of a meal in so much more detail now, as opposed to be like, oh yeah, just throw on a few more chips, like, yeah, you know, go on, I won't have a quarter pounder, I'll have a half pounder. You know, all these small things that you think are so like trivial when you're making a decision about what you're going to eat, but like the implications of it are huge. So yeah, I wanted to take you guys along on a 28-day journey. Yeah, so I'm gonna vlog. I'll keep like a record of every day, and then I'll drop a weekly vlog showing you what I did in that week, what I ate, give you guys tips on meals that you can have as well, share with you guys the exercise I did, and then we'll also do live weigh-ins as well. So Michelle will be on some of them as well, because we do it together, where like we encourage each other, we motivate each other, we keep each other going. Don't get me wrong, in the last 9 months or 12 months or however many months it's been since July, since I started, there were days where I didn't eat clean. There were days I cheated. There were days I had full fat Coke instead of Diet Coke. But what I always tell people when they ask me about how did you keep yourself going, you know, what did you do when you fell off, I tell people a single meal doesn't make you fat or skinny. So what I mean is, if I'm eating well and I eat McDonald's one day, that's not going to make or break me. Same way, if I'm eating really badly and I have a salad, that's not going to like miraculously like offset everything that I've, you know, all the bad food that I've eaten. So there's no one meal that will make or break you. The key is consistency. And when you do dip in consistency, it's just about how quickly can you pick yourself up. There are times, birthdays, events, where you can go to, and sometimes it might be difficult to like fit into the parameters of what your diet needs to be or what you would like it to be, which is fine. You then have a judgment call as to whether you're comfortable in like flexing those parameters slightly, or whether actually you're just going to be disciplined and say, you know what, I'll just eat the bits I can have, and if I'm still hungry, I'll grab something afterwards. So yeah, that's my story. So as I said, my weight has been a massive part of my life, my journey, especially through my teenage years. I can confidently say I've never wholeheartedly been comfortable in my stature, in my body, in my weight, in my appearance, but that's all linked to my weight. My appearance all linked to my weight. So yeah, just wanted to take you guys along with me on this journey, 28-day challenge. Please feel free to get involved. If you have any tips, please drop them below. As I said, weekly weigh-ins, so full transparency to show you guys what we're doing, whether we're making progress, whether we're regressing, and I'll also include any cheat meals that I have as well, because as I said, I want to be as honest as possible to encourage you guys that, you know, if you do want to make a lifestyle change, if you do want to become healthier, honestly, it's not going to take forever. Literally, the small steps, the small changes that you make, you'll see, like, you'll just see so many different things. Like you'll feel a lot more awake when you wake up in the morning. An 8-hour sleep feels so much more refreshing. Yeah, like you just have enough energy to get you through the day. It's not like you feel sluggish at like 3 o'clock at work and you're waiting like, oh my god, when's the day gonna finish? It's just such a drag. So there's so many additional benefits that I saw, but actually I just started out with the ambition to just lose weight. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that vlog. I hope you guys stayed tuned for the weekly vlogs that are going to come through the month of June. And yeah, I'll need your guys' motivation, encouragement, support. I'll definitely add pictures in the vlog and maybe after the vlog as well, to show you guys like different stages through from like before I started to during I started and to where I am now. But yeah, as always guys, please don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and look forward to having you on the journey with me.